I don't think I've ever seen like a proper summer slasher.
Oh my God. Yeah, pretty
You
much
are
so.
Final Girl coded. I fear I'm not Final Girl coded at all.
Like with the rules of horror movies, you would be one of the first to die. It's true.
Manic.
Pixie.
Jump scare. Hosted by Quinn Murphy.
And Becca Hobart.
Oi,
Hi, we're
we're
Quinn
Quan and
and we're
we're Becca.
Becca.
And welcome to Manic Pixie Jump Scare, a podcast where Becca and I talk openly about our shared delusions
Passions and
and
love
love
for
for
each
each other.
other. Quinn, you sound to be, I don't even know, like in the fucking ocean?
Yeah, underwater maybe in the North
Yeah,
Atlantic.
it's kind
Guys,
of giving
I'm
bubbles.
so I'm on a special mission this week, but I had to take a little break because I of course
Hmm.
had to record. But I can't exactly talk about the mission, but I think we all know what the mission is. Where,
What's that song?
look at I'm doing my own investigation as I'm
Right.
looking for evidence. I'm looking for
As your president,
evidence.
as those that came before you,
Uh-huh.
you look for
And I am
evidence.
unafraid to reference in this,
No,
but in other times I'm unafraid not to reference. So that is,
you're also not afraid to be Italian American.
oh no, I would never actually. I would never.
Your 8 day
And
pass to
which
the Italian fest.
literally, which is yes, the Becca found in my wallet that I didn't steal by
Becca
accident.
found in my wallet. you fully, you fully taking it out of your wallet and saying my 8 day pass to the Italian fest. You
Not
found that
exactly
in
how
my
I remember it,
wallet.
but let's move
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Fair enough.
but see, everybody wants to cast Italians as a liar. Like, oh, we're lying,
I'm
we're,
sorry.
being
I am part of the
shifty.
problem. Yeah.
I did you at all see Chris Cuomo? He did like an interview with like a comedian. I forget what the guy's name is, but he like
I
sat.
probably didn't see it.
It was really funny because he famously one time said one of his great scandals was that the word Fredo was derogatory towards Italian people. And I believe he said it was like the N-word for Italian people.
It's too good.
Yeah,
That's so
so
funny.
and then he was, it's funny because I was watching Hassan react to the clip, and Hassan is like, yeah, this is like a lot of like Chris Cuomo stuff around like Italian identity comes from, is like part of like why being Italian American is such a big joke on,
On
Hassan's.
everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, guys, we
Wow.
face a lot of persecution as a people. Um, and
But you
yeah, I would
continue
never be
to
afraid to be
make it a
Italian
pasta.
American. Yeah,
Right.
make it a
Yeah.
pasta.
Make it a pasta throughout it all, in spite of it all,
Amonine.
I should say. Yeah, so
Focaccia.
focaccia.
Um,
Mozzarella. So
mozzarella.
yeah, I mean, guys,
Prosciutto.
prosciutto,
I'm having some
bruschetta,
prosciutto. I'm having some bruschetta.
fieri,
Uh,
fieri.
parmesan.
Are you like a fan of Guy Fieri?
Mm, not like really. Me
I
thinking.
bet. Not really.
My I do find him interesting though. He's like really grossed out by eggs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't like fried eggs, I don't think.
Such a big part of pasta.
I have like this vivid memory of him because like when I would go to my grandparents' house, like di- diners, drive-ins, and dives was like
Right?
always
Yeah.
playing. And there was this one where like somebody
Of
like
course.
put a fried egg on a pizza and then like cooked it on the pizza in the oven, and he was like gagging at the sight of
He
it.
was
Like he was
pissed. He
like
was
he
really
was
pissed.
pissed. He was so mad.
My dad is like always commending him for how he has to eat stuff when it's like so hot on that show. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, it must be really hard to eat fresh food.
To eat, yeah.
To
The best
eat, watch
places in
me eat.
America.
He said, watch me eat.
Watch me
Well,
eat. Watch me eat.
guys, today you're gonna watch us eat as we do another episode
Mm-hmm.
of hilarity, gags, ghouls, even, and
Ooh.
most of all, gangrene things.
Yeah, trench foot.
Yeah.
A lot of people got
Speaking of
trench
foot,
foot.
Quinn, my feet finally feel it.
Oh.
Girl.
Well, guys, yeah, because Becca and I have to come clean.
Yeah, it's true.
We're going to
We did.
Domino's,
Yeah.
and but beyond that,
Yeah. Secondly,
we did see each
did
other in person this week.
in how they say the Big Apple.
Yes, in the Big Apple. We even saw the
Yeah.
Big Apple at one point.
No, seriously, like the big one. It
And we
was so
said,
cool.
oh, that's why they call it the Big Apple.
Oh, we get it now. We
Oh,
get it now.
yeah.
We're on the same page as you
Yeah, we're
now.
on. We
We
get it
were
now.
really confused before, yeah.
But yeah,
I know
Becca
it's
and
weird to see you in Zoom after seeing you in person, actually.
I know. And it's even crazier to consider that we've only seen each other like 3 times in person since starting this podcast.
Literally in the past year, yeah. Wow. But we've talked
Wow.
upwards of probably 2 weeks. If you
Oh
combine
yeah,
all the
like
time, like
elapsed time, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot. Which is good. It's a beautiful
And
thing.
that's on long distance friendship. But yeah, we met up in New York. We were on official business.
Yep. Can't be disclosed yet, I
It
think.
can't be disclosed quite yet.
You're on the verge. Keep listening.
No, you guys are close to figuring out what we're working on, but
yeah. You haven't cracked it quite yet.
You just have to be a little patient with us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what we were doing did require a lot of walking.
Jesus fucking Christ. Guys, my Fitbit claimed that I stepped 33,000 steps at the end of the day.
Damn.
14 miles. Yeah.
I checked mine and mine was just under 30,000. It was 29 something.
Craziness.
Mm-hmm.
When I arrived home, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna melt into the couch.
I was like, no.
But I showered so hard.
Really?
Oh my God. I showered so hard.
I did feel like dirty. Like, I don't know what it was. Like,
yeah.
It was the sweat, but I do think there was something in the air a little bit where I was like, oh, it just feels like there's like stuff on me.
Yeah. I'm feeling the particles actually.
Yeah, the particles
attached to my body.
Yeah, the particles really hit me. But yes, we had a big fun day in the Big Apple. We do need to discuss right away the
equinox.
Yes, the equinox.
Yeah.
Becca and I, of course, had to meet at the vessel because we were like, oh, yes, we need to see a triumph of modern architecture. And then Becca was like, oh, let's go to this place. It's called the Electric Lemon.
Yes.
And it's a part of the Equinox Hotel. And I was like, okay, work. And so Equinox Hotel is by like Equinox, the gym maker.
They just made a big old building.
Yeah. And then they said, okay, a hotel's here now.
Yeah,
and then there's like a little restaurant in the hotel. So we were like, okay, let's go there.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we didn't talk enough about the slapstick of like us being like, are we in there? Because first of all, there were 3 different entrances, like to the
and they all had different words. And it was like, I was like, will they all connect? Is there a correct answer? Like, we can't win.
Because I thought
got buzzed in by someone.
Yeah, no, I thought one was like directly to the gym.
Right.
But it turns out the gym you had to take the elevator to get to.
Right.
As well. And then there was also like a little cafe, but not the cafe we wanted to go to.
Exactly.
And then there was a Soul Cycle.
Right.
And it was like, what is going on? And then Becca goes up to the revolving door and she has to turn away immediately, like before she can even start to go in.
Because I was shocked because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it, like feeling good. And then as soon as I like stepped too close to the door, there was like a big man just like on the other side of it. And I was like, oh, I couldn't possibly.
She got spooked.
I got real spooked, guys. I'm not even gonna lie.
So then we had to like take a minute to recollect, and then we were like, okay, I guess we're gonna try to go in again. But Becca was like, you have to go first this time, and I was like, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And so we like went in to no fanfare.
Nope, no one.
And then we took the elevator up to
the fucking 24th flight.
Yeah, the 24th floor. And then we proceeded to have lunch. What was like the hostess calling you, my dear, my
My dear,
darling,
that was
my
it.
dear.
My dear.
Becca,
Thank you, my dear.
thank you, my dear. We'll have you seated soon, my dear.
Yeah,
Here are two menus
Becca.
for you, my dear. Um,
Yeah.
and
You should say
so
goodbye.
we started with her.
Mm-hmm.
And the vibe of the place was like it was such an interesting vibe in there because
I know.
it was like kind of fancy, but also like people do go there conceivably after having gone to the gym. So like Becca
Yeah.
and I didn't feel like underdressed or anything.
Right. In our denim shorts.
Yeah.
We felt fine.
In our cutoff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There
and
was a
then
lot of staff, more staff
yes.
than patrons, I would say, actually.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like there was someone constantly like coming around and being like trying to give
About
you
the table.
something and like
Yeah.
but there was this guy who like took our order and he like the first time he came up to take our order, he like snuck up on like not snuck like he didn't it was like he was trying to sneak up on us, but I could see him in my peripheral vision for like a long time, it felt
He had
like.
nefarious intention, but it didn't follow through.
No, and like he was like, I don't know, it was weird, but the food was really good. I enjoyed everything I
It
ate.
was, and it was normal priced,
Oh,
guys.
and
Don't be too scared.
it was great price because
Yeah.
I was prepared to act shocked at some of the prices I saw yesterday or 2 days
Right.
ago. But and then at the end of the meal comes the kicker.
Yes.
He
It's too
goes,
good.
oh, so we're like, can we get the check? And he's like, oh yeah, can I have a room number? And we're like, or no, he just goes like, what number? And I was like, and Becca and I both looked at each other confusing. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Becca, they mean your phone number. Because Becca, the hostess, for some reason asked Becca for her phone number.
Right. I guess I'm part of the
And
club now. I don't
yeah.
know.
And then he was like, oh no, room number. And then he's like, oh, you guys aren't guests at the hotel. I you guys are just in here so often that
I always
I
forget that you
always
don't stay
forget that
with
you don't stay
us.
with us.
Yeah.
And
We were like,
the
yeah.
gaggy part of that was that Becca and I had actually never been there before.
Yeah, not once ever. A single
No.
time. So I need to know because all day we did have like a running joke where we would see two people and we would be like, that's just like us.
Yeah.
But now I need to know who is just like us, who's going to
No,
the
walking
Equinox.
around like who's going to the
Yeah.
Equinox
For
Cafe in the
breakfast, like
cutoffs.
the electric lemon, exactly.
Exactly.
But then also when he handed me the bill, he was like, Miss Hobart. And I was like, okay. So
Okay.
you must know the name of these other people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, was he just trying to like show off and like make the people around us think that we went there a lot? Like, was he helping us out with like some social? I don't know.
Cachet. I also
Yeah.
did immediately after that asked where the bathroom was, which if I was regular, I might know already.
Oh yeah, I did go down. Even though you told me 4 times where the bathroom was, I went down the wrong way, and he
That's
did stop me
understandable.
and bring me back. Yeah, of course,
He said, okay, so they're ill as well.
ma'am.
My regulars are ill.
They're really
Um,
not. They're not okay.
yeah. But yeah, that was one of the highlights.
Hmm.
What were some of the other ones?
Um, you didn't see this, but when I came home, my dad was really mad at me for taking the subway because he was really scared of that guy who got pushed in front of one. And I was like, "What you
Oh.
don't know about me, Bill, is I wouldn't let that happen to me."
He's like, ooh,
Because when I become dead weight, it's a lot for people
it's
to
a
handle.
lot. A lot can happen. A lot can happen. Becca and I
Mhm.
did talk about that man though,
Yeah,
at
because it
least
is a freaky
once.
thing.
Yeah, no. Because we were on like a raised subway platform when it's not really sub, it's just kind of a way.
Yeah, we're so way.
And and Becca was like looking into it and being like, oh, you could like fall through that if you fell onto the things. And it was like over
Yeah,
the street below.
right. Which would be a
So
bummer.
yeah, which would be a bummer for you in your life.
Yeah,
And then you were like,
for
oh, I
sure.
have to stop looking at that now.
Yeah, I have to back away because I'm getting
Literally.
freaked.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, you know that feeling where I'm not like necessarily scared of heights, but like when you
Uh-huh.
become very aware of how kind of high you are
Yeah, and
and
you're
how
like,
like
oh, if
easy
something did happen,
it would be
you're
terrible.
just general like fear of dying comes in.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
you're
of
like,
course, yeah.
oh.
Right, right. Reminded so painfully. Yeah.
Um,
We
But
did
yeah,
collect a lot of treats as well, which
yeah,
was
way to collect treats
also a
along the
highlight of the
way.
day. Also, I made my bus by 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't make my bus going there by a lot of time. Like
Oh,
I didn't have much
narrowly.
to,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't have much time to spare because I had to
Got
grab
you.
my ticket,
Got you.
which I'm
Got
not even
you.
sure if I actually did because I literally like the garage was just fully still open when I got back. So
Mm.
I stressed myself out for no reason. But the parking garages are so dramatic. Has anyone ever noticed this? Like they're always like, take your ticket with you, take your ticket with you. You have to pay before you return to your car. And then that's
Right.
never true.
No, exactly. You can always just go right up to your car and grab it if you need
Yeah, and you can always pay at the machine when you're
at the
leaving, which
machine
is
when
what
you're
I
leaving,
always
of
do. Like
course.
I'm not why would I stop to pay like on my way to my
Yeah.
car when I could just pay when I'm leaving the thing?
So easily with the tap of my
Yeah,
card.
they're always but it's always like when you're in a new state, when you're in a new garage, you're like, "Oh, are they actually serious this time?"
Right? Like this could be the one.
Yeah, no. And one of my big fears is like parking in a thing in a garage that like closes or something
I
and not knowing
know.
about it and then you're just like stranded.
One time that happened to my mom and my aunt when they visited me in Pittsburgh, and Soldiers and Sailors was like closed for a holiday.
Uh-huh.
And fortunately the maintenance man was like walking by and he was like, "Oh, I'll let you in."
Uh-huh.
So then they also got free parking.
Sure.
Lovely.
Okay, wait. So they got a
Yeah,
good deal on that one. No, that
exactly.
happened because that happened to. Did I tell you the story about when Kat and I and like her entire birthday party got locked out of her house?
Oh my God. No.
So it was my friend Kat, her birthday party. So there were at least 8 people. Like there were at least
In
8 of
Philly?
us. Yes, at her
Okay.
house that you went
Okay.
to.
Yes.
We all like went outside at one point onto her little like balcony space. Um and
Oh wait. I think I
yeah.
do know this story. Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and then someone like closed the door and somehow we were locked out. And so
Just like
the
that.
the front and the back door were locked, so there was no way to get into the apartment and we were all like stranded outside. And Kat's dad is like he was in New York City, but he had parked in a garage that was closed, so he couldn't like leave. And it was like the middle of the night. So like it was like
Oh God.
midnight 1 a.m. when this was happening. So um yeah, so we were like about to be stranded out of there until like 6 a.m. when Kat's dad could like get his car out and then have to wait for him to drive down. But then eventually Kat's they have like a cleaning person for their house and she had a key. So
Oh
she
my
came
God.
and
That's
had one.
amazing.
Yeah, so that's
She
how we
came
got
at
back
2
in.
a.m.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Whoa.
So shout out to her for real
Yeah,
because
seriously.
I literally because I
That's
didn't have
terrible.
shoes, but I was like nobody had actually known if the front door was locked, but I went to go check the front door. Um
Oh.
so but like I was literally
No
just in my
shoes.
socks, yeah, on
Ah,
fucking like South Street, like walking
God. That's
around because I was
terrible.
like I had to do a recon mission.
Yeah, you did. Oh
Literally.
my God, brave, brave. That's I hate like no. That's why I'm so like I need to know where my keys are, where
Mm.
everything is, where everyone is. Like I can't be locked out. I refuse.
We did have a small jump scare in the day when we were walking through. So for some reason, there was like this 3 mile walk we had to do in one subway station
Yeah, underneath the
because we like
ground,
entered in the
guys.
like completely wrong place, and they're like, "Oh, you can enter here," but then what they don't tell you is that then you have to walk like miles and miles to get
So
to,
far, yeah.
and then climb multiple staircases, and like that was
Literally
such
so
a
rude.
that was
Like, let
such
me
a
know.
treacherous journey for no reason.
For
And to
why?
catch the
Ooze
7
dripping from the
train,
walls.
literally. But so we were walking, and Becca was like, "Oh, your backpack's open. Do you want me to close it?" And I was like, "Sure." And it was like the top little flap, and my wallet had, and so, or no, you didn't. So I like took it off my back for a second, and I like looked inside of it. So I was like, "Oh," and then I didn't see my wallet, which had been in there earlier in the day, and I was like, "Oh no." And then like I went down to my pocket and I had just relocated my wallet to my pocket and I was like, oh
Unbeknownst to you, though.
yeah, walking by unbeknownst to me. And so I did thought I got pickpocketed for just a minute.
Yeah, and it would have been a really good pickpocket.
No, it would have been impressive because the backpack was on my back. And so like if
Yeah.
somebody managed to like do it so gingerly that I couldn't feel that there was somebody on my back. Also, the fact that they were like not seen by Becca, who was like in
Right.
tow my whole day.
Yeah. And also,
Um,
I'm always so aware of thieves and stealers and pickpocketers because, girl,
game
I've been
recognizes
there.
game, yeah.
Exactly. I'm studying. I'm
You're
critiquing.
you're
I'm a
studying
judge at this
technique.
point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was not actually stolen, so false
Thank
alarm.
Gord. Thank Gord.
Get to take $1 from the drama jar.
Take $1.
Yeah, because I was
Oh
being
yeah, because you're. Oh
dramatic.
yeah, right. Of course. I was forgetting the physics of the jar for a sec.
Yeah, so this weekend while I was at work, my boss talked about something called the drama jar, and it's kind of like a swear jar, but if you're being dramatic, you have to put in, like that's the rule in her house. But I was like, Becca, we should do something like that, but it's like if you're being dramatic, you get to take from the jar because we want to
Yeah,
reward that behavior.
of course. And if you're being
And
boring,
yes, that's how we
you
replenish the
owe
jar.
us.
If you're
Yeah.
being boring, the council can decide you have to actually add to the drama jar now.
Yeah. So hopefully a lot of our guests will be, boring at some point so we can fault them
We
on
have
that and
to
take their money ultimately.
we have to find it's like, have you ever seen the movie Dinner for Schmucks?
Yes.
We have like Dinner for Schmucks, but for boring people, just so we can like replenish our drama jar.
Dinner for basics.
Tab fare. Yeah, Dinner for basics.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yes, that was basically our day in New York.
Good fun.
It was good fun. Fun day exploring and taking in all the city had to
Yes.
offer.
Exactly.
Truly.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah. But has anything
do
been
it again.
happening for you outside of that, or anything you wanted to
Good
flag
question.
from the past week?
I suppose probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Me and Lauren watched Grown Ups. That was like a big highlight, actually. The film Grown Ups. You're familiar? And guys,
Seen it
it
many
just made me
times.
hee hee and haha like so hard. I hadn't seen it in so long. And I was telling Quinn the rope swing scene where Kevin James like kerplunks off the rope swing and like slams his body so hard in the ground. Like in real life, he would have died 1,000%. He hit like rocks really hard when he landed. Oh. We rewatched it so many times, like those 5 seconds, because we were laughing so hard. So yeah, I don't know. Just like I've been watching a lot of movies and I've been enjoying that. My Letterboxd, I think I have 73 movies in, and my goal this year was to watch 100.
Oh my
More than
God.
Quinn has ever watched in their lifetime.
More, yeah, literally more movies than I've seen.
Ever.
Wow.
Point blank.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrifying actually to me. No, I
Thank
want to
you.
watch movies. I've been having like a thing to like watch movies.
Movies are good, Quinn.
I have to do it. I have to start to find the time for it because there are a lot of movies coming out that I want to see. I want to go see that new
Exactly.
Jennifer Lawrence movie.
I want to see it so bad.
What other movie do I really want to see? Oh, do you know what I saw a ad for that I would entertain watching it even though we don't like one of the people in it?
What's that?
Zoe 102.
Oh, is that a movie? I thought it was a show.
No, it's a movie.
Who don't we like in it?
Jamie Lynn.
Oh, obviously. Okay. I don't know why I just like pictured a man when you said we don't like.
Yeah.
So
Victoria Justice also isn't in it, which I'm like, okay.
Boo, yeah.
Boo, corny tomato.
She must have like refused to be in the same room as Jamie Lynn. I have to believe.
Well, I was trying to get the tea on it because she said it was like a scheduling thing. But I'm like, girl, you're not like,
you're not all that.
What's on your schedule?
What's so busy for? Yeah.
What's on your schedule? Exactly.
Except, have you seen that damn rom-com on Netflix with her called Perfect Pairing?
No.
For some reason, like I really like that movie.
They were like in the article, they were trying to say like, oh, she has work, but I'm like, from the shit I've seen, I'm not sure about that.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? And also, why do they call it Zoe 102? Wouldn't it be like Zoe 201?
Right?
I don't know. Yeah, like
Like,
I don't
what are we doing here, guys?
literally.
Zoe 3004.
It also seems like a really sad premise being like, because at one point in the ad, she's like, I'd give anything to go back to PCA. And it was like,
God, your high school. Oh my God. When I was younger though, like I would have killed to go to PCA.
oh,
Like I would have
yeah.
killed people.
Oh my God, no, because I feel like we don't talk about, I feel like people weren't talking about how expensive it must have been to go to that school.
Millions, trillions, thousands,
Trillions,
30,000.
30,000? No, it was definitely more. It was probably more than $30,000 a year to
Oh
go to
yeah.
that fucking school per child. Like,
It was like fully a cooler college.
yeah, it
Like
was like,
college but cooler.
yes, yeah.
Oh my God. But if kids were actually like if high schoolers were actually in that situation, the
Mhm.
amount of people that would drop out due to like overusing drugs, too much partying,
Over
people would die.
fucking,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. The STDs running
STD rates.
rampant.
Where was
Oh my
that
God.
episode? Where was that episode of Zoe 101?
Seriously. Oh my God.
And
My
now I'm
dad
not
still says sushi instead of sushi because of Zoe 101.
Sushi.
Like he's still on that joke. Yeah, guys.
Zoe
His
101
humor.
was a good show.
It was.
They were
Nickelodeon like had that formula down of
no,
like
oh my
entertaining
God.
shows.
Oh my God, the Halloween episode of Zoe 101, randomly one of the scariest things.
Guys, what are you? I'm so fucking scared right now.
Oh my God, and then that one movie they did where they had like the haunted key or something.
The Haunted Key.
They were like out in the desert and there was all that like green smoke.
Green smoke. I'm having like, oh God, I'm having flashbacks.
It was like weird. Wait. I'm Googling Zoe 101
Googly.
movie. It was like weird because it was like weird and like supernatural.
God.
No, I don't want Zoe 102.
Not to
Movie
die.
Ghost. Because they had that fucking movie. The Curse of PCA. Oh, it
Jesus
was
Christ.
it was a TV episode. Do ghosts exist? At PCA, nobody thought so until they heard the story of Charles Galloway, a former PCA student who supposedly disappeared. The
Damn.
Curse of PCA. Oh, I wonder if little Dustin's in it.
Little Dustin.
I don't remember seeing him in the thing, but anyway. But yeah, that even looked kind of good to me. Oh my God, do you know what I also saw last
What?
night?
What?
I like saw on YouTube they had like a thing at Netflix and they showed like the first scene of Heartstopper season 2. And guess what song is in it but Shatter by Maggie Rogers, which is my favorite song off her last album. And I was like, oh wait, they do make this show specifically for me. Wait.
Yes, it literally was made for you.
I was like,
Handcrafted.
I was my baby, I was gagged. I literally said,
Mhm.
I was shocked.
I'm shocked.
I'm
actually
shocked.
shocked.
I'm shocked, actually. I was acting so shocked, is the thing. So yeah, that just made me more excited to see those fucking kids.
That is exciting. Fucking kids.
Gotta catch up with those fucking kids.
Something sweet for the fucking kid.
Literally. All right. Well, I feel like we've caught everybody up on our happenings so far.
Yeah.
But we're gonna throw it a little break and then we'll be right back to get into today's topic.
Guys, I'm scared.
Oh,
Whoa. To be Fergie doing one-handed cartwheels, like
literally world
let's talk about cancer season.
Yeah, so today is as we film, it's the first day of cancer season. It's the summer solstice, and the day you guys are listening to this, if we're assuming that day is Friday, it's a very important day in history.
National holiday, I heard.
National holiday. Becca birthday. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Becca birthday, yeah.
yeah.
Becker B-Day, Becker
Becker B-Day,
B-Day.
Becker B-Day. I hope we're battening down the hatches for the impending collapse that entails.
Seriously, watch your
Um,
city.
watch
Watch
your
this
city.
space.
Hey, watch your city. Watch this space. Because it's Becca birthday and it's Becca golden birthday.
It's gonna be a crazy one. Like
She's so golden.
crazy, like, yeah.
Gold
She's so
dust
golden.
woman.
Ooh, ooh, ah, yeah. And guys, I don't even know what it holds for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
the best, like best possible outcomes, I would say, all around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what life holds for you in general.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, so
I'm very excited.
to celebrate Becca's birthday today,
Hmm.
we're doing one of Becca's little brainchild's children.
Yeah.
Um,
No, keep with
crazy
it.
how
Keep
much
with
I've
it.
been misspeaking on this podcast recently.
Brainchilds.
But Becca came up with this little idea, and I was like, oh, that's fun. So today we come to you, and we are going to tell you guys how we envision we would be in a summer teen slasher movie.
Of course.
Of
A
course, of course,
horror.
of course.
A horror movie.
But we don't like to do things for ourselves. We do them for each other. And
Yeah, of
so
course.
we have each come up with a concept for a summer slasher movie starring the other person.
Yeah. This is our pitch.
Yeah, this is
Netflix,
our
if you're listening, like listen.
Max, Prime Video,
Hulu, I'll take. Disney
Hulu,
Plus, even if it really comes
Disney,
down to it.
Disney Plus. They don't really get into the horror space. Maybe
Right.
Ryan
Not
Murphy
yet.
will cast us in his new Disney Plus development deal.
Oh my God.
Disney
Fingers
really going
crossed.
full in for the gays if Ryan Murphy is getting an all-around deal at Disney. Like, come on.
Literally. Oh, wow.
What's going on there?
Wow.
Anyway. But yeah, I will invite the birthday girl
Thank you.
to go first and
Okay.
tell me what life holds for me in the slasher movie.
Of course. Okay. So let's begin. It's going to be obviously Quinn set at a summer camp.
Uh-huh.
No surprise to anyone. I imagine it's like a high school theater camp, overnight sleepaway in the deep woods of, let's say, Maine.
Okay.
So there might be moose around.
Moose.
Be so careful about that.
Moose.
Moose. So, beware. And obviously you're a counselor there. Okay, so you stay in like the counselor cabin, which is a lot nicer. And I'm not gonna lie, one of the other counselors is, yeah, that's right, your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally,
Of course.
thank God.
We did it. We
Thank
did
God.
it. We won.
We did it, Joe.
I'm gonna say there's like 8 counselors in all, though.
Okay.
Because it's like a big old camp. And then there's like obviously
Big old
other
camp.
staff, like, I don't know, the guy who takes care of the lawn and the boats
The cook.
and all the activity. The cook also. The cook. And then like the head of the camp, I don't even know, the dean of the summer camp, you could say.
Creative director.
Yeah. Okay, the owner maybe even. Wow.
Oomphy.
So it's like all fun and games, right? And you're gonna have, it's all leading up to the big musicale, which I will decide on the spot to be Guys and Dolls.
Why did I think that? Why did that? That was the first one that popped into my mind too.
I feel like it's just so. Why not? Right?
Why not?
Why not? In this,
I've been in that show
scenario.
before. I'm like, guys, when I was in this production,
to me,
as the one who has been in this show before,
been
to drink
show, and to drink, I will have. Okay, so we're starting with. It's a very casual kill. The first kill, the Zekuk, actually. So it's kind of tough also because we got to scram Zekuk. We gotta
It's just,
scramble.
we literally have to scramble.
The eggs in the morning. Damn, chefing up. So the counselors do step up to the plate and have to cook the meals for the children, and everyone's just kind of like, "Ooh, that was a little weird." It's kind of like missing vibes, but like nefarious. Like maybe the police come and it's just like, yeah, like it's the woods. Like, what do you think? Like
We just left.
People just escape around here. Like no big deal, guys. So obviously they're no help. Boo. And then of course, the children, you have to protect the children. So that's like a big part of your job in this, and your role is just like shielding the children from any info about the crimes happening. Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course the counselors go and drink and party at night, right?
Yeah.
And they go out and they take one of the boats out. Silly geese. And in this moment, actually, the guy who like runs the boats, right? Like the groundskeeper, we'll call him, the janitor of the outside, he does die out on the boat while he's like checking up on what the boat is doing. But you guys don't even notice because you're just having such a big ball of fun. You bring the boat back in. You also realize someone else has drowned. OMG.
OMG.
So you're down a counselor, you're down the groundskeeper, and you're down a cook. Okay. But we're still shielding the children. We don't know how this is really happening, right?
We're still like, oh, this is a bad little thing of accidents.
Exactly. Like this is kind of weird. We're like 45 minutes in. We're like, wow, guys. Runtime check-in. And then also, so you're like hanging out with your boyfriend or whatever. Within a few hours, like he's missing. Like, where did you go? Like, we just don't know.
Where'd he go?
We just don't know yet. And so you realize then, while you're like being a little bit nervous or whatever, that another one of the counselors is actually like trying to hit on you in this moment because he sees like an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because it's someone who's been your friend, right? But like he's trying to make some moves there, and you're like not as comfortable with that, so you get suspicious of him because why is he being so weird like that?
Yeah, no,
it's very weird, especially with your boyfriend missing.
Yeah. I'm literally crying. I'm a widow. I'm a widower at this point. I'll never love again.
Exactly.
Unless something's happening later today.
Right. But so, people kind of keep going missing. None of the children, though, are affected by this.
They're all going to rehearsal still.
Yeah, they're busy. They're booked and busy.
They're learning.
You're also going to rehearsal.
They're learning the choreography for Luck Be a Lady.
They're learning step ball change, step ball change.
Step ball change, step ball change.
Etka. So this is like all coming to a culmination. It's very scary, but guys, like the final show must happen. Like this is the show. Like all the parents are here for the camp. Like big night. It's the last night of camp.
Oh my God.
You're like, the show must go on. To defend the show, you must meet and fight the killer in the woods. Okay. Because you can sense impending doom, and someone's been trying to sabotage the lights, the program, and generally the choreography.
And what the people I could care less about. The show. The shoe. No,
the program.
No, honey.
No, you got to get it.
When you start fucking with that, I'm gonna start fucking with you.
Exactly, as you do. So when you hear like rustling around the theater, you're like, let me go explore and check that out because I have to again defend the show with my life. And so you do just that. Who's running after you except the other counselor who like has a crush on you? And you're like, oh boy, like what is this situation? And then you get super sus of him because what does he have on him but a pocket knife? He's just being sus, and you're in the middle of the woods. So what's going on? Who are you actually running after? Is it him? Is he the killer? Boom! Surprise! Out from a tree comes your boyfriend. What the hell?
What the fuck?
Wait, you're like, what is going on here in this day? What is up? You too. And they're like, oh, you couldn't tell? We're both jealous of each other. So we're both killing everyone because we want to be in a throuple with you. And you're like, guys, that's so annoying. Like, you're like, no, that's so annoying. Don't ever do that. And so then they start chasing you. Like, they're both pissed at each other and you. So obviously, you guys do run into the theater and onto the stage, as what happens in movies all the time.
Uh-huh.
And you start fighting both of them, right? And the children are like, and the parents think it's part of the show because they've never seen Guys and Dolls, actually.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, nice. And finally, you, genius that you are, decide to cut some of the ropes for the lights, and you smash both of them over the head with lights in front of everyone. It's so
Scar
good.
the children for life.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But then you also explain in a big monologue on stage like what had happened, and you recap the entire movie in that little monologue, and you're like, see guys, that's why they died. And the parents all cheer for you.
Yeah.
And then, oh, I forgot to mention that earlier in the movie, the camp director, he also died, but he was really gross.
Yeah.
Like, he was gnarly.
As managers usually are.
Yeah, so like that was no big deal. So you and some of the other counselors were kind of like pseudo directors then.
So were the two men who were interested in me, were they like trying to kill each other, but like kept killing other people by accident?
They were, in some sort of way, they were just trying to become closer to you. And so they were kind of both like running the gambit, and then they realized like they messed up. And so then they kind of like did, in a way, again, join together to like get you. Yeah.
So why did my boyfriend disappear? What was his motivation?
Oh, sorry. He was being kept by the other counselor, but then he
Oh
escaped.
my
Yeah.
God.
That's a large plot point. Actually, I forgot to mention.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I picture him in a latrine. Is that what they're called? The latrine?
Yeah, the bathroom.
Yeah. He was dangling from the poop part. Or most above it.
What's the poop part? The toilet?
Yeah. You know, latrines just go into like a big hole in the ground.
No.
Oh, have you ever been to a camp?
I've been to like
Sleepaway.
I've never like gone to a sleepaway camp. I've been to like a couple.
Yeah.
That was
Latrines, to my knowledge, they're just a toilet over a hole in the ground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We stayed at one time I was on a service trip in high school, and we stayed at this weird place called Camp Utopia.
Okay.
And we were in like a big cabin.
It's serving cold already.
Yes, yeah. We were all very aware of that. We were like alone on the grounds, and we were like, but we slept in like a big like not like a wooden cabin, but like a big like place for everyone to sleep, basically. And we had to use the latrines outside.
Yeah.
So like you had to like walk to go to the bathroom, even if it was the middle of the night. And I did get food poisoning while I was there, and I was how do you say, pissing out of my asshole.
Oh God.
And I did shit myself a little bit in bed one time and have to walk to the latrine.
Dang. Yeah. We would have to take, in the middle of the night when I was at camp, we would have to take a buddy to walk to the bathroom. Like, you weren't supposed to walk there alone. So if your bunkmate was having, food poisoning, diarrhea, you would have to unfortunately go and listen to that.
They'd have to wake you up
with them. Yeah.
I would never wake someone up to go with me. That would be so fucked.
The bathrooms were kind of far though. Like, you had to walk through another campsite to get to it. Like, it was kind of spooky vibes. Yeah, like I would not have wanted to go alone.
I'd hold it.
Especially with the bears.
I'd be pissing outside.
Different for you, I suppose.
Yeah.
Score.
Well, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a solid concept.
Thank
Lots
you.
of interesting stuff going on. And
of course,
I do like that the conflict of the movie is ultimately caused by my beauty.
Yeah, your beauty and your I don't even know, voluptuousness. Like, everyone's so obsessed with it.
It's Helen of Troy vibes.
Very much so.
Wow. Okay. Well, I loved that. And
Thank you.
you'll be surprised to know, or
Oh?
not surprised to know at all, that your film starts off in a very similar way.
Okay.
And I did like free write to guys. This is my free writing journal.
I wrote on my
Yeah.
phone.
How does she? I don't know, but she's big as fuck. Look, these are my
Damn.
hands. She's big.
Big as the ocean blue. Oh
Big
my
as the ocean
God.
blue. And I'm gonna just read off because I think it's kind of funny.
Okay.
So I'll read what I wrote, and I got like about maybe 2/3 in, and so
Okay.
I'll have to riff from there. But
Sure.
okay. So Becca in a summer slasher film. She took a job as a camp counselor for some reason. She's always chasing that bag. But mama, she didn't know it would be an actual outdoor camp, especially because it's a STEM camp. She thought she was just going to be watching little freaks make the next Megan. Instead, she's swatting an ever-expanding army of bugs from her legs, which she abhors. Because Becca do not like bugs.
I do not.
She claimed to have been attacked by a bee, and by that she meant there was one flying around her.
Hey. You what do you think I was gonna do when it got too close? Be my friend.
She's always looking out. She's not one of those girls who does bugs. I wrote. Her cousin Ryan is also a counselor at the camp, so Becca has to manage him because he's constantly like pissing off counselors and campers. But the camp refuses to fire him because they don't want the optics of firing a deaf twink.
It's so true though. Like that would be a full-time job.
Literally. One thing that makes the camp better for Becca, though, is Vanessa, a beautiful bisexual woman who flirts with Becca. They, of course, start a summer love affair.
Oh my God, yeah.
Things start to get a bit weird at camp. It all starts when Siegfried, a child at the camp, is accused of encasing his roommate, Sam, in that Halloween cobwebbing people put on bushes. Although Siegfried will not admit to it, he maintains that something else did it to Sam. Although things are complicated by the fact that Sam's accusation, but the fact that Sam accuses Siegfried of arguing with him over a girl at the camp whose name is Sydney.
Oh.
Yeah. Becca has the unglorious task of cleaning up the cobwebbing. While she's there, she's surprised by the realism of this cobwebbing technology. She also sees all this little translucent pieces of material on the floor. It was kind of like the dead termites you would see around the logs in the woods.
Oh.
As Becca is leaving, she notices another counselor. Oh, wait, no, it's Ryan. Reprimanding Siegfried. Apparently, Ryan was trying to get Siegfried to take cute camp counselor-esque pics of Ryan. However, Siegfried simply wants to read his book on bugs. He loves bugs and hopes to one day be an entomologist. Ryan confiscates the book and sends Siegfried back to his cabin. Becca just knows she will hear about this later, though. The rest of the day goes without much fanfare. Becca and Vanessa hook up and fall asleep in Vanessa's cabin.
Oh.
They wake up to a commotion, though. Kids screaming. Then comes a rap on the door. Becca and Vanessa scramble to put their clothes on before their manager, Mark, comes in.
Oh.
Girls, come quick. They go out to see a human-sized cocoon hanging from the roof in front of Becca's cabin that she shares with Ryan. Directly under the cocoon, there lies a book. The same book that Ryan confiscated from Siegfried the day before. Becca has a sinking feeling in her stomach. They get the cocoon back and unravel it to reveal cousin Ryan with a giant gash going from the top of his right shoulder to the left side of his lower abdomen. He is, of course, dead.
Ryan.
And so that's where I got my free rates. But then Becca, she has to start to look for evidence, right?
Yeah. Launching the investigation.
Literally. And so she notices from because she was obviously very close. She's like, because her cousin had died.
Yeah. Oh, that's just too bad. It's just too bad.
All right. And she was like, wait, this cobwebbing is just like the one that I picked off that kid's bed yesterday.
Ugh.
What is going on here? And so then Becca's
Yeah.
like, huh.
Damn.
And so then she takes the book and they're like, whose book is this? And Becca's like, I know whose book it is. And she
I
takes it.
soar.
And then you find Siegfried later in the day and you say, I want you to have this back. And
Okay.
he's like, doesn't want to talk to you. And you're like, but he thanks you because he's surprised you're giving the book back. And
Hmm.
you go, Siegfried, do you know anything about what happened to Ryan?
Yeah.
And he says, I don't know what to do. And you're like, oh, Siegfried, I can't believe you would do something like this. But
Yeah.
Siegfried's like, no, it wasn't me.
I
It was,
didn't.
it was, but he can't finish a statement.
Oh. I'm shocked.
He can't finish a statement.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what was it? And then he's like, I can show you better than I can tell you. And
Oh
so then
God.
he starts to lead you out to
Oh
this
no.
kind of secluded part of the camp where people
Okay.
aren't supposed to go.
Yeah.
It's kind of deeper in the
Prohibidado.
woods. Yes, deeper
Of
in the
course.
woods. And you start to notice things. You're like, the sounds of cicadas get a little bit stronger. You're like, oh, what's going on here? And
Yeah.
then
Jeez.
you stop somewhere and Siegfried's like, okay, you have to be even more quiet than we've been already. And then you're like, why do we have to be quiet? And Siegfried's like, look down. And you see like this huge print, but it's not like a bear paw or like
No.
anything like that. It's like a big, like kind of
Don't even
triangular
say it.
almost. And
Don't
you're like,
even say it.
what is going on? And then you come over and then you're like moving. And there's like this little like clearing he takes you to. And he like it's
I'm
like
getting
kind of like
scared.
yes no it's kind of like it's not a meadow but it's like a clearing in the woods, like the canopy's like strong, so it's
Okay.
kind of dark even though it's daytime outside. And then like Siegfried like points something out and you see that like the little like you're like, oh, what is it? But he like points something out and then you see there's like a little like kind of it's like moving up and down like this little hill kind of thing. You're
Whoa.
like it's moving as you kind of see it, and then you start to like make it out a little bit, like you see a thorax and you see these big like sheer type thingies, and you see a
Uh,
huge head and a bug like face, and you're
oh
like,
God.
because you're not a bug, you're not like the other
I
girls who like
don't
bugs.
like bugs. Yeah.
And so you're like and it's a big bug, it's a huge bug. And you're
Ew.
like, I didn't even know they made them that big.
Oh
But
God.
they don't is the thing.
Oh
And
my
you're like,
God.
oh my god. Um
Ew.
so you're like you grab Siegfried and you're like, we have to go back, but you're not being like rushed about it. And you're like going and you're going and you're going and you're going. And then you go back to camp and you're like, Siegfried, thank you. We will reconvene soon.
Right.
And
Right.
then
Put a pin in it.
you go and tell Miss Vanessa. Um,
What
you
I
go and tell Miss
saw.
Vanessa what you saw, and she's like, are you okay? Maybe you need to like lie down or something. And
Right.
she's
Right.
like, she's like, Becca, like that's your cousin just was murdered in the middle of this camp. He was murdered Monday morning. In other news, Bruce Springsteen's daughter is going to the Olympics.
Her head was
So,
cut off. Her shoes were cut
and
off.
so you're like, "Ugh, maybe she's right. Maybe I was just freaked out by Mr. Siegfried and like all this stuff." And then,
Sure.
so then darkness falls
Mm.
and you have been taking a nap and you're like, you like kind of have these weird premonitions as you're napping, and like you feel like it's not enough to wake up, but you have the heebie-jeebies a little bit, like you feel like something's like crawling all over you. You're like,
Yeah.
and then
Ew.
you wake up and you try to move but you can't. You're like, oh, sleep paralysis, but no, you can like you have some fine muscle control, but you're like, and then you see it. You're
No.
encased in the cobwebs.
Cocoon.
Yes, and you're
Oh.
like, your head isn't covered, and like your feet are out. Like you didn't get like fully inserted, but like Ryan, but you're like that little Sam kid from the beginning. And you're like, and it's so strong. You like don't you're like, I can't get out of it myself,
Damn.
and so you start screaming for help, screaming for help. And who comes in
Oh
but Miss
no.
Vanessa? And she's
Okay.
like, oh my God, Becca. And you were like, I told you I wasn't crazy. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then
Yeah.
she starts to try to unravel you. And then chink, through her chest
No.
comes a little scythe, pulls out, and
No.
it's the bug.
Vanessa, she was so hot.
Yeah, she had died, but she also questioned you, so she had to die.
Yeah, you're
Ultimately.
right. You ever doubt me? Dead.
But she did enough where you could like get out. But now you're seeing the bug, but it's not as big as the one that like can't, like it's bigger than like a regular bug.
Okay.
And you're kind of seeing like a little army of bugs like all around you and your thing, but you're kind of starting to stamp them the fuck out.
Ew, my God.
Because you're getting hip to the tricks.
Mm.
And then you like try to get out, but by that point, the head honcho has heard that you are on the fucking move. And
Jeez.
she's coming.
No.
So you like run out to like the middle of the camp being like, someone help, the killer is escaping, help me. And it's like twilight by this time, and so everybody's like, oh my God, she's crazy, she's so crazy. But then bitch, the bug comes. And it's like a huge like praying mantis slash moth slash
Oh
like
God.
thing, and you're like, and everybody's screaming, everybody's like, ah. And then all these like mid-sized bugs start coming out. They're still bigger than regular bugs, but not as big as this one. They're like it's little henchmen.
Ew.
And you're like, oh. And you're like,
I
I don't
would
know what to
hate
do.
this.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then you see Mr. Siegfried. And
Okay.
Mr. Siegfried's like, Becca, come on. And you're like, oh.
Whoa.
And then you go in and you're like, and he's showing you this thing he's been working on, and it's like like pesticide, but it doesn't actually kill the bugs. It just like neutralizes them basically. And so you're
okay.
like, he's like, if maybe I've been making this and maybe we could get it to, if we could figure out a way to like get it to the bug, then maybe we could get him to,
Pass out.
yes, pass
Edka.
out a little bit.
Okay.
I begin to hit the floor. Ooh.
Yeah. Oomp.
And then what do? But you say, oh, wait, I got peanut butter. And so then
Hell yeah. I always got
you
peanut
get
butter on me.
you get your stock of peanut butter, and you say, I know exactly how we're gonna do this, because there's this big old log in the middle of the camp that the kids like sit on sometimes. And then you and Siegfried start taking the peanut butter and just slathering that damn branch, that damn log, and like putting all the stuff up. And you're also sprinkling it with the pesticide that Mr. Siegfried has been developing so hard at STEM camp.
Naturally.
And then you just gotta wait. And then eventually the big girl starts to like come up. She's like, because all her bug friends are like, oh, I'm not gonna do your bidding anymore because there's peanut butter to be eaten off a log.
Right.
And she's like, let me
I'm
go
busy.
get the peanut butter. Yeah. And so then she starts, and then she's like, okay, work. And then Siegfried's like, oh yeah, now we've neutralized her. Like, we're good. And then you say, no. And then you grab a flamethrower and you say, not on my watch. And you fucking light that bitch the hell up.
Hell yeah.
And you scorch the earth and kill all those damn bugs.
Hell yeah.
And Siegfried's hella mad because you're like, we didn't have to kill the bug, and you said, but I did. So
I actually did. It's my truth.
I did so. And then you have saved the day at the camp, and unfortunately Cousin Ryan and Vanessa have passed away. But
I forgot about that.
You brought down the supernatural bug force that was terrorizing the camp.
Yes. Oh my God. That is genuinely terrifying to me for obvious reasons. Holy fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the Goosebumps episode where the ants became people-sized and people became ant-sized.
Oh,
Yeah. That was Jewel. Did you see her pop
oh
in?
my God, both of our parents.
Mom appearance.
I didn't see her, but
Okay, she was
I
there.
gotta
Trust me.
see her. I saw you
Gotta
like
see her. Yeah. Acknowledgement.
yeah.
Yeah. Hate that, but love that.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Quinn, and thank you for recognizing that the bugs do have to die, like at the end of the day.
Yeah, no.
Like large ones. I
Mhm.
really tried to be as much of a pacifist as possible when dealing with bugs. But if
Mhm.
you got a big ass bug who killed my cousin and my lover, two separate people,
Literally.
then
This time,
you
this
got to go
time.
this time around. You got to go. That's just the truth. I hope I don't
But
start any wildfires in the process.
oh, who cares?
Whatever.
The
There's gonna
bug
be a
died.
million
Well,
more. Yeah.
you're like, let it happen, because then more bugs will die.
Right,
Because
right.
who knows how
Good
many of
for
these
me.
fuckers are just hanging out? Like, if there's
That's
one,
so true. There must be. Yeah. It's like the megalodon, but bug form.
with a
That's really
bug,
terrifying. Yeah.
with a bug.
The buglodon.
Yeah. Because I was like, I want to do I want to do a slasher movie, but I also wanted to involve bugs. And I was like, so what if the bug was the slasher?
A big old moth bitch.
Yeah. And there was a thing with like Siegfried and the bug were obviously like connected. We'll work that out in the later drafts.
Right, of
And
course.
that's why Siegfried was like, oh, don't kill it. But you're like, little boy, it's better
Like
that
you don't even get
it's
it.
better for both of us that you don't have this.
Yeah.
Because what they put that bug on the stand and they say, well, I was just trying to protect Siegfried. And then there are two people dead because they were trying to.
Right. So Siegfried's in jail at his young age.
Yeah, at his young age for being an accessory to a crime that a bug committed.
Yeah.
Because you know what they can't charge? A bug. And you know what they can't also charge? Especially a dead bug. So.
No evidence
But there's
of
still
that,
two
even.
fucking people dead.
Two fucking people.
Justice needs to be served.
Yeah, for cousin Ryan and Hottie Vanessa.
And Hottie Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
And for them, you decide to live on.
Yeah.
And you never let
Quinn.
another bug live in your space. You're like,
No,
I will kill any bug that comes across my path.
Make him a mission.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready. I'm ready to
We
live
just have
that
to figure
life.
out how you get the flamethrower.
It's from the grill.
It's from the grill. No, you
Yup.
know what you probably didn't do like you probably did like setting spray and like a lighter.
My Morphe setting
Although you
spray.
need like a big one, but you gotta like
My dry shampoo. I can do that. I can do that. I can set that up.
Shit
Okay.
headed.
Okay.
Tresemme is level 4. Boom.
There's a lot comes in one can. A lot
Axe
comes
body
in one
spray.
can. Oh God. With the way that smell travels, a lot comes in that can.
But
Wow.
yeah, that's Becca's movie.
Oh my God.
What would the movie be called? Praying.
Yeah.
What's like a bug title?
Camp Cocoon.
Bugging Out.
Bugging Out.
Bugging Out, the new summer slasher starring Becca Hobart.
On the movie poster? Oh.
Becca Hobart as Becca. Cousin Ryan as Cousin Ryan.
As
Or
Ryan.
no, Timothy Chalamet as Cousin Ryan.
That's so true. Frankie Grande as
Dua Lipa as
Ryan.
Vanessa.
Yes, that's who I was picturing.
Frankie Grande
Oh my God.
as Siegfried.
Frankie Grande as Siegfried. Jesus Christ.
Johnny Depp as the bug.
Hell yeah. I'll light him up any day.
But yeah.
Wow,
wait, that was
that's
fun.
crazy. That was really good.
I know.
That's a crazy idea. I love it.
Did you like that? Wrote that shit today.
Wrote that shit about 30 minutes ago.
Wrote that shit about 30 minutes ago. She's only existed for a little while.
It's lovely brainchild.
So imagine if I gave him more than 30 minutes of thought. Like, come on.
Oh, it'd be fully fleshed out, girl.
Sometimes.
Siegfried.
But
Wow.
those are our summer slashers. I don't think I've ever seen like a proper summer slasher.
Oh my God.
I saw American Horror Story 1984.
I was gonna say one of the best seasons actually to me. Like it's so
people don't talk about it
entertaining.
enough.
It's so good.
I feel like once you got what they were doing, it became a lot more fun.
Yeah, just for the girls, it was so fun.
Yeah. Um, I know you'll get me in a thriller. You're the killer, baby. Guess I'm your final girl.
Do you want to be the final girl? Do you want to be the final girl? Slater and Graveyard Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
You
much
are
so.
final girl coded. I fear I'm not final girl coded at all.
Like with the rules of horror movies, you would be one of the first to die. It's true. Unfortunately.
Yeah, because I'm like, yay. I feel like the smart ones always die first too. Like the smartest ones always die first. Because they can get hip to the tricks pretty quick.
Right.
But they're also indignant. So I don't know. But so Becca and I have 2 spec scripts now, so that's good.
Yep. Guys, don't steal those ideas. Seriously.
Movie coming from MPJ Studio soon.
Oh my God. Budget $5.
Budget $5.
We can make it work.
We're on a shoestring budget here. How do you think Cousin Ryan will feel about being in such an important role in this film?
He's gonna love it. I'm gonna text him right after this.
He's not gonna listen to the episode, but
no, of course not. But when I tell him like you died on MPJ, he's gonna be like, "Wow, yeah."
In the MPJCU.
Yeah, MPJCU. In Bugtopia.
Bugtopia and Bugging Out. But
future film Bugging Out.
Yeah, I think we're gonna throw to a little break. We'll be back to get into our segments for this week.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm scared.
Yeah, we're back. It's true.
Ew, I just stepped on a bug.
No, not in Bugtopia.
Wait, there's so many. Wait, there are a lot of bugs. All of us. Oh my God.
The second coming. Buggin Out Part 2. Crazy.
Electric Bugaloo.
Guys, okay. So time for our weekly segments. Wow. We don't have a comment corner this week because unfortunately you guys have failed us once again. So what we're gonna need from you is just to stop that and to continue emailing in. It's so fun and so good when you do that.
Literally.
You get rewarded by a comment corner section.
Appearing on the show.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you? It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
But we do love you and we support you when you start typing and emailing us. So yeah. So we'll just move on to our jump scare of the week, which is anything that Quinn or I found terrible, buggy, spooky, Etka.
Slimy.
Yeah. So Quinn, what was kind of gross and nasty for you this week?
Do you ever have something come up and then it just like ruins your whole week? Like literally one thing and you're like, okay, why did this ruin my whole week all of a sudden?
Yeah, something so terrible and nasty, of course.
Yeah, because so yesterday, for the 30th time in the calendar month, I'm asked to pick up one of my parents at the airport. And
terrible.
My dad in particular, because my mom for some reason cannot do it. And I was pissed off because I was pissed off because literally this is the other thing. I'm gonna try not to call out my mom too much, but I also do want to call her out just a little bit because
a tad.
The day before when I went to New York, she didn't drive me into Philly to catch the bus. I had to drive myself. And I had to take myself home after a 2-hour bus ride because she didn't want to pick me up and drop me off. Anyway, so then I am tasked with going and picking up my father. And this is one of the confusing things about my life now when I'm picking up people from the airport is because we live near the Wilmington airport.
Okay.
Which is in Delaware, which used to it's in Newark. And it used to just like be there. Like it was just like, oh, there's an airport there. But now they're actually running like commercial flights out of it. So and they go down to where my parents go in like where my brother lives in West Palm Beach,
Mm-hmm.
and where my mom works in the summer. No, in the winter. And so they'll like take that down, but they only fly out certain days. Like they only fly to and from certain days. So they'll like fly
Okay.
down using like the Avella, which is the company that runs out of there, and then they'll fly back to Philly.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, oh, I have to pick him at the Wilmington airport. And I had that thought. Then I was like, fuck, no, I have to go to fucking Philly. Anyway, and then Becca and I were supposed to record yesterday, and so I was like, oh well, now I have to move around I have to move my recording with Becca to later in the day. And Becca, being the lovely convivial host she is, I was like, oh yeah, we can do that. And I was like, her. And then so I'm like, okay, mom, I can take it, I can get him. And she's like, okay, thank you. And then she like immediately texts me, oh, his flight is getting in at 4:30 now. And I'm like, wait,
Ooh,
what?
so
Because
much
that's
later.
exactly when Becca, yes, it was an hour later, and that was when Becca and I were supposed to start recording, and Becca couldn't record at night. So I was like, what the fuck? So now I'm irrationally angry because I'm like,
it's not pissed.
Because I start to think, I'm like, well, because I have tomorrow, which is today. I had a voice lesson scheduled for 11:30 today, and then I had my work training, and you couldn't do tonight from everything I had gathered. And so I was like, fuck, when is that going to happen? And so I was like, then that means it's Thursday morning we're pushing off to get like a podcast recorded. And I had plans like Thursday afternoon. And then I would have had to spend like the whole day editing pretty much on Thursday, and it was just like, I was getting pissed.
Yeah.
So then I had to reach out to my voice teacher and be like, can we move my lesson after I heard Becca could record today at this time? And I was like, can we move my lesson? Are you available tomorrow by any chance? And she was like, oh, I can do 11:45 tomorrow. So then I had to move my voice lesson. And I still, because I couldn't change my work training because all the spots were filled. And I think even the later spots were while I was working at my other job on Saturday. So couldn't go then.
Of course.
And
Too
so,
busy.
yeah, I had to like move that. And then now everything's fine. But it was like, it was a lot. And I was like, how did this one thing ruin, like throw the whole course of my week off? I had to literally rearrange my whole week just to pick up my father from the airport yesterday.
Oh my God.
So that was annoying. And then it was literally during like he landed, of course, because he landed at like 4:45, so it was fucking rush hour. So
God.
it took me like so long to get into the thing.
Get back home.
Yeah, but no, getting home was fine, but like to get to the actual airport was
I see,
nightmare vibes. So yesterday was not a very good day, and it was because I had to suddenly pick my father up from the airport. And sometimes I get like upset with myself because like sometimes when my vision of like a plan I had isn't working out, I start to get like kind of like I think that's kind of why I'm like kind of off the cuff now, and I'm not like a big planner, because sometimes when I do plan, I get thrown off. It gets way too, like, I get too upset about it. And so I've just stopped planning things a little bit, so I have like less expectation. But like I had a plan, and then I was like, well, I had many plans actually, and then I had to rearrange my whole week and be like, but yeah, so that was my jump scare.
No, that is so annoying. I hate that.
Hate that for me.
I hate that.
But anyway, Becca, what was your jump scare this week?
I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again. Probably my feet. And like I am a little bit because I'll be walking around this weekend when I go to Wisconsin. So I'm like, oh no, I kind of need my feet to be healed. And I'm like not sure if like I don't know why, but I just pictured myself putting my feet in like cold water. Like, is that supposed to like do anything for your feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cold and warmth.
Cold and warmth.
What are you experiencing? Like, what's the?
I have some blisters.
Oh, it's blisters.
But it's interesting because the blisters didn't appear.
Your shoe wear did surprise me so much.
I suppose they're just my comfy slides.
Becca was just wearing slides.
Like, would you have been shocked if I wore Birkenstocks?
No, I guess you're right.
Okay, so it's just the same. Yeah, I gotcha. I straight up gotcha. Like, got her ass.
Got her ass.
It's just my feeless slides. And like it was interesting because I didn't feel any pain in the moment. It wasn't until I literally sat down on the bus and I was like,
Huh.
oh, my feet feel gross, number one, and two,
Yeah, because that was the other thing.
hurtful.
Your feet were just exposed to like the ground.
Yeah. That was tough. That part of it was tough. There was like a crazy amount of dirt on them, which is part
Yeah.
of why I showered so hard. Like a lot of the shower was focused on my foot.
Yeah. I definitely have
Um,
blisters too. That's why, like, between 20 and 30,000, like, once you hit 30,000 steps, there's no way there's not a blister on your foot. I don't care
yeah,
how
you're getting
I don't
them.
care how comfortable your shoes are.
Yeah, you definitely
Like,
have at least one.
you'll have something.
Yeah, to show for it.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
was the other thing.
so
It was kind of nice though, because I had an excuse to like not do much yesterday because I was like, my feet literally like can't take it.
yeah, I gotta just chill. Yeah, I was like, there was a point in where yesterday, like one of my toes was just kind of like throbbing,
Oh,
and I was like, oh boy, and I had
oh
to like
boy.
elevate it, and I was like, damn, because she has a
Yeah.
blister on her, and it's like it was hurting in the moment. So I'm gonna take it slow, and I'll make
You'll
sure to
probably be
wear
fine by
Friday. Yeah,
yeah, you'll probably be good.
and I'm gonna wear the shoe that never fails me, like no matter the only shoe I have walked
Mm-hmm.
like 30,000 steps in and never felt any pain are my Steve Madden slinky shoes, sandals. They're
Mm-hmm.
platform, and yet they're so comfortable. They've never done me wrong. Like I walked all over New York City with them the one time 2 summers ago. My
Mm-hmm.
feet were fine.
Wendy
I walked
Summer.
Wendy summer. I walked all over Barcelona last summer, completely fine. Like they are the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Madden, thank you for sponsoring this episode. Our first sponsorship being Steve
Our
Madden. I'll
first
take it.
sponsor.
I'll
Hey,
take it.
hey.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Well, we pray for the healing in Becca's feet. We pray for the
Thank
healing in
you.
my feet, even though I haven't noticed
Yes.
them giving me that much. I did wear flip-flops when I went and got my dad yesterday, which driving in flip-flops is one of the worst decisions you can ever make.
I never drive with shoes on, and people always talk to me about that. It's illegal, blah 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 blah.
Oh, you drive barefoot?
I always take my right shoe off.
Yeah.
People are
Well,
like,
no, because
you
there's
could get
only
in
like a certain
trouble.
shoe you can wear where it's like comfortable to drive. Like unless you're wearing a
Yeah,
sneaker, it's kind of uncomfortable to drive in like any shoe.
exactly. And I can't feel the pedal if I have like the chunky ass shoes I wear.
Yeah, like my platform boots, they're hard to drive in but that also might be because my legs are really long and they add a couple
Oh,
inches to my legs,
of
inches that I
course.
don't have. So I'm like,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of like that anyway because I'm just a long person.
Right.
And
Right.
cars are
Right.
not fucking made for people like me.
For tall people.
People think it's fun to be
Yeah.
tall, but then they don't realize how pervasive anti-tall architecture is.
Right. In our society, in this current
Literally.
planet we live on.
And that's why this Pride I'm partnering with
Wide
biglargedoorways.com.
open
Wide open
spaces.
spaces. That's the
The
best place you can
chicks.
take a tall person. That's my ideal
Yeah.
date, taking me somewhere where I won't hit my head on something.
Oh my God. The Bugtopia would be great for you then. The big field.
Is the second movie in my franchise like you exploring Bugtopia and you trying to like bring down like chaos
It's a
on Bugtopia?
No, it's actually going to be a romantic comedy where I end up falling in love with a bug because like it's enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
A
Mhm.
really sexy bug though. Yeah. So
Oh my God, what if the bugs have like necromancy powers and they like take it back and you discover that Ryan and Vanessa are like repurposed as like bug people. Like they've been brought back to life as like
whoa,
bug people.
that's really beautiful. Ryan would be like
And he's only made
Ryan would
more
be a
annoying by the fact that
cicada.
he's a bug.
Yeah, constantly chirping and buzzing. Oh God.
He
Yeah, he always got shit to say.
always got some shit to say.
It's true. Well,
Uh,
anywho, those are jump scares.
mhm.
But now we do flip the page onto the positive, the great, our manic pixie moments. This is anything that made Quinn and I feel amazing, intelligent, beautiful, gorgeous, cherished.
Mhm.
Quinn, what was that for you this week?
My Manifesting moment was probably like when I was writing on the bus. I wrote because I was late on my newsletter, guys. Say it with me because I didn't start it till Friday of last week. Oh, um,
That's
and
okay.
but I was like late finishing my newsletter, and since Monday was a holiday, I didn't have to post it on Monday. So I was like, okay, we posted it on Tuesday, and so I was finishing it, and I wrote some on the way up to the city, and then I wrote some on the way back, even more surprisingly after that long ass day. But I drank an espresso martini at dinner for the express ideal to like do work on my way home. And I actually did it, and then I wasn't up till like a crazy hour after we got back, like
Oh,
working
lovely.
on it. So that was really good. And yeah. So that was my favorite moment, like
Lovely.
riding on the bus. I'm like, oh, uh.
Ooh,
It is
ooh.
definitely way more glamorous to write on a train.
On a train, you think?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why is that? You got a tray
You
table?
got a little tray table. I thought the bus would
Mm.
have like a small little tray table at least, but they really said you could choke.
Nice try.
I don't think I
No.
would have been able to do it on like if there had been, but the buses were empty enough where I had a like seat next to me, both
Oh,
buses, which was
good.
nice. Although one time when I took my flight from Pittsburgh to Phoenix when we were going to Mexico, for some reason that plane was so spacious. Like I hope that's like a new plane that they're making everything like, because I literally sat in the middle seat next to like two other like men, and I
Uh-huh.
was like, oh my God, this is
You
so
had
spacious and
room?
lovely. Yeah.
Whoa.
I
We
literally
do
pulled
need
my, because I
that.
was like, I pulled my laptop out because I had to like edit. I think I had to edit this very show, and
Okay.
I was like literally editing it on the plane, and I like didn't feel like I was like elbowing the men, and I was like, this is crazy how spacious it is in here.
I've never experienced that, especially in a middle seat.
I know, and I
So,
was like, because Ian didn't get like seat choice, and then he like couldn't reserve it, so we all got middle seats. But I was like, damn, this is nice.
damn.
This is really
Being
the middle
treated
seat on every
well.
plane. Nobody would be like, oh, the middle seat.
Right.
Like if it was like that every flight,
Oh
everybody
my
could just be
gosh.
happy.
Society if.
Society if society if every
Wow.
plane was like that one I took.
From
Oh.
Pittsburgh to Phoenix. Oh, wow.
Oh my God, that made
Oh
me think of when
wow.
I was on the flight, when I was on my flight home from Korea, and the bathrooms on one side of the plane completely stopped working.
Ooey. Did they get
And
clogged up?
no, it was like maybe one, but like it was like a bigger like issue because like it was like
Okay.
one side of the plane.
Gotcha.
And then
Jeez.
the pilot was like, if it becomes an issue, we can like land somewhere. And I was like, no.
No,
I was
don't
like,
do
no,
that.
we're gonna go. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah. We can all deal with that.
Girl, luckily, because we were all the way like over the Pacific. Like we had definitely cleared Japan at that point, and so we would
Oh,
have to
damn.
turn the fuck around. We would have to turn the beat around.
Damn.
Or we would have
That would
to
have been
land
very
somewhere in the
inconvenient.
US, but it was fine. Plus, I was on the side of the plane where the bathroom was working, so no
Hell
skin
yeah.
off my literal back.
You were fine.
But
You were good.
yeah, Becca, though, I would love to now hear about your manic pixie moment.
So, of course, mine has to be my impending birthday. It just means so much to me. I love my birthday, and I'm excited to
May birthday.
go and be with Macy.
Former guest of the pod.
Famed, yep, yeah, famed MPJ
Book
fan,
club aficionado.
of course. And we have a lot of fun plans, and yeah, I miss her a lot. And it's like crazy how for 4 years, like basically 4 years, like I talked to her every day because I lived with her, and like I spent so much of my time with her, and now she's
Yeah.
like in a different state, and it's like, oh my God, it's weird not like seeing you when I have to go make
I
my
have to get on a
breakfast.
plane to see you, and like
Right. So it takes so much longer than just walking out into the living room.
literally.
What they say. But yeah, I'm gonna celebrate. I'm going to be Australian again,
Because
guys.
there's someone Becca needs to keep up appearances with out there.
Yeah, a lot of people actually. It's true. I think I might have to like privatize my Instagram for the weekend.
Privatize.
Like like go private because I've always had a public account. It's true. So
People
We'll
are being
see.
blocked on the MPJ Instagram. Let's just say that.
Oh, for sure.
Where Becca's revealing her real voice. Guys, what if at recess today we all sang with our like real singing voices?
What if at recess today?
Yeah, guys, what if at recess today we all sang and like used our like real voices?
And we actually got to see what each
I
other
forget
sounds
whose
like.
joke that is. Is that like Corey? I forget who's. But it's like when you were a kid and you're like, guys, what if we went out and sang today, but we like used our real
Real
voices? Like we
voices.
tried to
Like
be
we weren't
good.
kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. One time I was at this girl's birthday party in like second grade,
Uh-huh.
and her mom had her like sing for us.
Sing for us, you Sylvester.
That's what it was good, because she was also wearing like a tracksuit. But yeah, I don't know.
Blonde ass pixie cut.
When we're like 8 years old, like we don't have to be using our real voices actually.
Well,
Our
at my
real singing
18th
voices.
birthday, it was set as like a karaoke party, but then nobody wanted to do karaoke except for me. So I did like a
Aw.
karaoke song, then like nobody else did it, and I was like, well,
What the fuck?
guys. Well, we didn't go somewhere. It was we had a karaoke machine.
I love karaoke machines.
Yeah, but
Oh, Quinn. If I
it
would
was a
have
bunch
known
of theater
you.
kids. They're all worried about judging each other. They're
Oh,
always worried
boring.
about being judged by others because they were
Who's
judging.
getting the part? Yeah,
I was like, guys, we're just in my basement.
right. We can just chill and hang out.
Yeah, we're all friends here. Anyway.
Sing like this. Yeah.
When the day is
Anyway.
long. Anyway, but that is our
Jingle
show
bird.
this week. Thank God we got it filmed because a little touch and go there for a second.
A lot of forces against
A
us.
lot
A
of forces
lot.
against us, but Becca and I, the horrors persist, but so do Becca and I.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the mission statement of this podcast.
You could say so.
Which we've now, this is in our record-breaking 55th week of posting.
55th. Exactly.
But Becca, where in the hell can people find you if they want to these days?
Well, of course, they can follow me on Instagram at Becca Hobart. If it's private for a little bit, don't worry.
Come back later.
Yeah, come back later. Just the weekend. On TikTok, where y'all going during World War III, and Twitter and Spotify, Bex Gloss. They can also find me dancing around the maypole on my birthday, drinking the shrooms, and becoming the May Queen by accident. I didn't mean to. It's my destiny.
Yeah.
Quinn, where can the people keep up with you individually if they're so inclined?
You can find me at Quinn P. Murphy on both Instagram and TikTok. You can also find me there on Venmo.
Yes.
Don't feel any inclination to send me money. It was just like somebody was like, "Oh, what's your Venmo? I can't find it," and I was like, "Quinn P. Murphy." My handle on other things as well. So I have brand integration even on Venmo. Twitter, we're still working on, but
right.
Venmo we secured. But anyway, speaking of Twitter, you can follow me at Quinn P. Murphy _. You can also read my newsletter at quinnpmurphy.substack.com. Always having a good old gay old time over there.
Oh yeah.
And you can find me you like 9 to 5. I'm the weekend. Make him lose his mind every weekend. You can find me trying to find somewhere to go to karaoke, as I did last Friday night when I was drunk and with my friends and being like, guys, what if we went to karaoke and used our real singing voices?
What if we weren't kidding?
What if we weren't kidding when we did karaoke?
Oh my Lord.
A lot of people were thinking that. Anyway, Becca, where can people find the show if they want to follow us, if they want to follow you and they want to hear your real voice as opposed to a voice you might put on when you leave the country? And by the country, I mean our home states.
Right. Of course.
Right.
Good answer. So they can
crispy?
follow at Manic Pixie Jumpscare on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, where we post the podcast at length video form and also some exclusive content over there. And they can also email in at manicpixiejumpscare@gmail.com to be a comment corner, to tell us anything they want to tell us. And also, guys, just like say hi. That's it.
Hi.
So easy. So
Hi,
simple.
guy.
So hi, fatty.
I'll
take it.
Can you say hi to Fatty? Hi, Fatty.
Hi, fatty. Yeah. We're
Quinn. And we're Becca. And thank you for listening.
Ah.
Oh my god,
Ryan
wait, it's like a big praying mantis. Oh my god, it's picking up its sheet.
She.
Manic Pixie Jump Scare is hosted by Quinn Murphy
And Becca Hobart. Executive produced by Quinn Murphy and Becca Hobart.
Sound and video editing by Quinn Murphy.
Social media management and highlights by Becca Hobart.
And our theme song was written by Quinn Murphy, Becca Hobart, and Nandita Mahesh.